It's time for a cup of red, so let's fill your cup with rad pop culture vibes. And now your over-caffeinated hosts, Mike and Katie. Hey kids, it's Cup of Rad. I'm Mike, and
I'm Katie.
And we are your hosts for our weekly podcast show.
Yes.
Time to be awkward. So how are things going?
Things are going well. I had a nice, relaxing day out with you guys, and we had some fun. We started off our day at our favorite toy store.
That's right. We went to Toy Traders again.
Well, we just can't stay away. You know what? There was new things that was in their flyer that we really wanted to check out.
Mm-hmm. And what was some of the new things that we saw?
Well, I saw a few new pops that I kind of hemmed and hawed over. The Pretty Woman pops were out, and as much as they're awesome and they're cool, we are trying to pare down our collection, so I ended up passing on them, but I still think they're really awesome that they brought them out, because they brought her out in her original, start of the movie costume, and then in the opera costume, and I saw in the back of the box they're bringing out a Lewis as well, holding the box with the necklace in it.
Okay.
Which is yeah, it's pretty awesome. So the girly side of me is like, oh, this is so cool. And then you made a good point. No one's going to know if they ever saw this, what it was without the box.
Well, it was pretty basic.
It was really basic,
yeah.
Right? I mean, especially the opera one, right?
Yeah.
The Pretty Woman, the beginning of the movie is a very unique outfit.
Yeah.
So it'd be different. And then I had those moments of what would my son ask? Who is this? And what is she wearing? And I was like, you know what? No. So we moved on to other aisles.
Well, we got to see the new Ghostbuster pops, which were pretty cool.
Oh yeah, especially the
movie moments
one. Yeah. That one was really awesome.
With the battling, and then Slimer in the middle between Venkman and Egon.
Yes.
So.
You know what? The other one too is I did see that was the SpongeBob and the pineapple and Gary.
Yeah.
And that was really awesome. But you just bought me the SpongeBob with the rainbow hand.
Imagination.
And I love that one. It really is cute. And it's a nice simple small pop by itself.
Yeah.
The pineapple would take up a lot more space.
Right.
And so I'm cool with that, but it is really cute.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? The other thing we saw was some of the new Nintendo stuff.
Oh,
Our son was really impressed with some of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's not buying it or anything, but still.
He's got his eye on those.
He came around the corner and he's like, Mom.
Guys.
This giant articulated Bowser. Look. It was so cute. He was just so excited.
Right. I like going to Toy Traders on Saturday. I think it's my favorite time, especially in the morning. Those early.
It was so quiet there and so peaceful.
Yeah, and everyone's
just all in a good mood and talkative and they're happy.
It was great.
Well, and I like too that we've got a bit of a rapport going on. Mm-hmm. People
Wait, you guys don't have a trade this week?
I know, right? The guy, because he already knew our son was trading stuff in to be able to buy a Switch. So he's like, "How's your Switch life?" So he wanted to talk games with him, and our son was just like, "I don't know how to respond right now." It was pretty funny.
Guy is awkward. Talking to me.
Right. But, so what did you want to check out in the flyer?
Well, I had seen in the flyer that they had gotten in the Mezco 112 Batman, and I was really curious about seeing that in person.
Well, yeah, because when I sent you that picture, you were just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
So I was very excited to check those out because we've been trying to figure out what to do about DC when it came to our collection, because we do have pops and we do have some figures, but I'm not super happy with the figures that I have.
Well, because a lot of them were from a long time ago too.
Yeah, the old DC collectibles, so they're pretty static in their posing and all that. And I'm not a big fan of what Mattel has done for figures. They're quite expensive for what they can do. We've looked at the Hot Toys because I love the Ben Affleck Batman. That look of him is I just think it's fantastic. And I keep looking at the Hot Toy and I keep passing on it. And you keep looking at the Wonder Woman.
Yep, I look every time. And I just you know what? It's not 100% what I want. I want the Sideshow exclusive the concept art Wonder Woman, which is much more comic-y, but I want to use Toy Trader dollars. So it doesn't jive.
You want to use that trade. No, I totally agree. So we looked at the 112 because we've looked at 112 before for some of the Marvel stuff because they're pretty awesome. And they hadn't really had any 112s that we had liked for the DC yet because it was the movie version of Wonder Woman. And they do have coming out in the fall here, or holiday 2019 is what they say, a comic version of Wonder Woman.
That one, it looks really awesome because she's got so much armor on. She's got like the full
and the armor
leg
comes
guard.
off.
Yeah, and the shoulder and everything is like, that's really cool. So I have my eye on that one.
Yeah, we looked at the Batman. We saw, because last time we were there, they had a purple Catwoman, and we weren't a big fan of the purple.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because I myself like the Brubaker, the black costume,
The Darren Cook stuff.
and the Darren Cook, all of that, and I don't really have a purple
that was
favorite
more
of her because
90s,
it was
right?
it was older, and so that's just, nothing's wrong with it. I love the color, the idea of it being associated with it, but it just wasn't something that I really knew and liked, right? So,
But didn't translate as well with it, I think.
yeah.
So we were looking at it. We saw that they had the Catwoman and the Batman, and the Batman is fantastic. I've already posted a photo on our Instagram and even on our Facebook.
You didn't even have to look at it that much. You were like, yeah, no, I think I need to get
Well,
this.
it comes with 4 heads. And when I noticed when I got it home that the secondary head, which I thought was just a grit teeth, he actually had shorter ears.
That was a really fun surprise.
That was kind of cool to see. And it comes with so many batarangs and all these pieces. And that cloth and the body and all that, just with the short time that we played with it tonight, was awesome.
Yeah. Well, what you'll have to do is you have to do a YouTube video that
I could try to
that
do
shows
that.
some of the experience there with it.
Yeah, I've been trying to break out of my bubble and try to do the YouTube video just with my phone and all that. I've done a couple. I'm still working on that, getting the confidence up through that. The audio is so much easier, right?
Yeah, definitely.
There's less components to have to deal with. But yeah, the Batman figure was just fantastic. So we were looking at the back of that. And then you decided that you were going to go ahead.
Well, then I was like, you know what? You got the Batman, so I think I need this Catwoman as well. And they just go together so well.
Now, the Catwoman we did get was the black version.
Yes, we got the black version that was there. And, because I looked at the Sideshow one as well when we were originally looking at them, and I could not get over the open neck. She had the cowl and then a big open neck, and then her cleavage was out. But it just bothered me. The open neck bothered me.
Yeah.
And this 112 here has it fully covered. She's fully black except for her face.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. I opened it up and it was just like all these little details that are super fun, and she's so well detailed in her eyes. It's just a good sculpt for things. I noticed like her 3 heads, even the detail that her eyeshadow is different on all 3 heads.
Right.
And then the different hands with the different claws and the detail on those. And then you had found that the little pouch opens up and there's actually all of her tools are in there. There's a little pick kit and all these sort of things. And that just blew me away. Yeah. But my best part that it makes me super happy that we bought the Batman and the Catwoman together is the one head sculpt the Batman has is all cracked up and he's damaged,
Battle
right?
damaged.
And he's got slashes across his helmet. And Catwoman's actual hand from the toy, fits on those scratches perfectly. Yep. So it is meant to be from her first, and that just made me. That was so happy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
So Mezco definitely killing it with these. Like
it makes me even more excited for the Wonder Woman.
Right.
Then. Oh my goodness.
So I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna forget about the Hot Toys for our
they're
DC,
out for DC, and
we'll keep with Hot Toys for Marvel and Star Wars, but we're gonna do the 112. What we also saw at Toy Traders, this was huge. They had the Mezco 112 4-pack Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, that one was awesome.
Right, and
glows and lights up or something.
Right, with Slimer. So actually, it's like a 5-pack technically, but big metal tin and all that. Like that thing was spectacular looking.
That was pretty cool.
Like it was like, whoa! I love my Ghostbusters, but I don't really care as much to have the figures of it. So, but from what I've experienced with that Batman, if the Ghostbusters or anything like that, if you're a Ghostbuster fan, then definitely seek that thing out because
that would be a really awesome setup, right? For sure.
With especially that scaling and all that. So
something else that I saw was fun, actually totally off the collectible path and everything. We were looking at Lego and it was their junior line of it, the 4+ but for the new Toy Story movie. And they brought out a little Woody and RC and it had little mini like alphabet blocks with little tiny green army men, and they were adorable. Like it almost made me want to buy this because it was like perfect little tiny displays of all this stuff with RC and Woody, and that made me all giddy and happy. And I know our son is actually a little unsure about the new movie, but I know we're looking forward to
Toy Story.
I'm sure he'll come around and be like, but
I think I'm the one that's the most excited.
I think so too. Only I think it because it. Being a little older, I think it sounds funny, but I think it matters more to you a little bit because Buzz really was in your life more than mine originally, right? And because it was a male characters for the movie, was able to grab maybe your attention more than mine. I was such a princess,
I freaking
right?
love Buzz Lightyear.
And that's it shows then how much more it means to your life. And
well, that's why, you know, Toy Story 2, you know, there was bits of it that were, you know, not enough Buzz for me. And then Toy Story 3 just wasn't enough Buzz. I think they did him dirty in Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
Right.
You remember him more for Spanish Buzz than anything else.
Right. And it just wasn't Buzz. I hope that there'll be some more interactions with Buzz because I miss, you know, because I love that old Disney afternoon feel cartoon they had, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, where Patrick Warburton played Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, you really like that.
That was just a great show. And I just think Buzz should get some more light because he's just like, he went from being like the it toy in the first one to then just being like Sloppy Seconds or something. I don't know. It's just
like, oh yeah, it's this. Oh no.
Oh yeah, the space guy's back. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Guess what time it is?
Magic word time.
That's right, it's magic word time. So get your ear holes ready to slide into this week's magic word.
And today's magic word is kale.
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 Kale. That's right. Now that you've heard the magic word, direct message us so you can get your name in and entered on week 2 to win something from Cup of Rad.
You gotta win the box of rad.
Box of Rad.
Skeletor.
Yeah. Magic word. No.
So, Mike, what else did we do today?
That's fantastic. We ate donuts.
We did. We ate donuts and had delicious coffee.
That's right.
There's a wonderful donut place in Vancouver called Dipped Donuts. They are amazing. And they have one of my absolute favorites is a Girl Scout cookie. It's the caramel and the coconut and the chocolate and the amazingness. And
the amazingness.
And then
That's called Coke. It's sprinkled on your donut.
And then their new one that me and my son are really loving that we couldn't resist to share was a creamsicle donut. And it seriously tastes like creamsicle has been slathered on top of a donut. It's like creamsicle ice cream. It's amazing. It's creamy and it's orangey and it's
creamy and orangey. I didn't know orangey was a flavor.
Orangey is definitely a flavor.
It is. I guess that is orange flavored drink.
Orangey flavored things. And it's amazing. Like so amazing. And I'm getting like weird giddy talking about it.
No, that's awesome. No, because the place that we get our coffee from, Spent Grounds down in Surrey there, on the weekend it's carbs and coffee. And
we are there to celebrate with them. Yeah,
we go there probably too often, but luckily we were going for granola and coffee. So
yes,
and donuts because we had a big day today. With Toy Traders, and then we went over here and we did that. And we had donuts, and getting donuts is a fantastic time.
Well, you know what's another thing too is that they have all sorts of awesome pastry goods there, and like croissants and these pizza rolls we got for our lunch, and all of it is vegan, and it's like, super
that's
awesome.
The thing. That's
this
the thing. If you're wondering why we're just so excited about donuts at a really far away coffee thing, is because we are vegan, and when it comes to getting donuts, it's difficult.
To have good donuts for sure too, and
because we've been to many places around the States and all that, and we've tried donuts from lots of different places, and so those basic like grocery store donuts or all that just don't cut it.
No,
right? Like if we want a donut, we're not going to Tim Hortons. We're gonna go somewhere. You know, even if we weren't vegan, we wouldn't be going.
Right? Dip Donuts is better than anything, right?
And they're just. You would never, if I handed you this donut,
you would never question anything about the ingredients. It's so good, so fresh,
so fluffy, and just
so well done. Like they're yeast donuts, and really well done. And Dip Donuts, we love you.
And I say that's the beauty too is that I have a tartrazine allergy, which is yellow number 5. So it stops me from having a lot of things. So especially with going into more all natural ingredients for baking, then I can have things. So like the idea of having a lemon filled donut, I could never have at a chain store because it would have the chemical in it.
Yeah.
Right. To make that bright yellow color. But they have a lemon custard donut. So it's pale yellow, the real natural kind of look, and I'm able to have that.
It doesn't look like highlighter fluid.
Yeah. It's
Yum.
I never burst open a highlighter. I was like, I'm gonna eat this now. No. So that's the thing that's really cool. So I'm excited about that. So we were able to scarf down some donuts, and you get the pizza rolls.
Yeah, these awesome, like it seriously tastes like cold leftover pizza, and it's delicious.
Yeah, because that's like Flour Girl Bakery.
Flour Girl Bakery, and yeah, our son, he took a bite of it. He had never had one, and he was just like, this is actually kind of creepy how much this tastes like pizza, because it had the pizza bread dough.
Or is it a roll? So it looks like a cinnamon roll.
Looks like a cinnamon roll, but it's pepperoni and cheese and all plant based. But and then they have croissants and all sorts of awesomeness, and they do such a good job of it's that idea that we have that flexibility, and I think it's wonderful, right?
Yeah, it's nice and fun, and we got some Yellow Basket Bakery. We got some croissants.
Yes,
we're very excited to make a sandwich out of those.
Yes.
So yeah, I know we're talking about some stuff that is a little different, not so pop culture, but you know what?
But it's still us, and you know what? We hang out with you guys. You know, this is all part of us and all part of our. We got our trying to be our rad world.
And after that, what do?
We went off to the movie theater
to see
Godzilla,
King of Monsters. Dun dun dun.
Our son really wanted to see this.
Yep.
And so we thought, you know what, we got to make sure we bring it to him. Because he can't see Rocketman, we couldn't tell him he couldn't see Godzilla as well. But you know what? First reaction, Mike?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I did too. I think I enjoyed it more than you. I think, honestly, because I enjoyed it way more than I thought I even would.
Well, because you didn't really want to see it. You didn't really care about seeing it.
I could tell. I was like, you know what? If I'm really going to pick one, it's going to be Rocketman.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad I went and saw it.
Yeah.
I think it was really nice to see it on the big screen too.
Well, I think it's the only place to really fully enjoy it on the big screen.
The scale of the monsters.
Exactly. Right? You're not going to get the same grandeur and the sounds from a home.
Yes, the sounds, definitely. That was a big part of this movie. So, and I know our son really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And
well, he likes to seem to like almost everything that's Asian influenced.
Yeah, it's like if it comes from over in the East, we're good. Yeah. Like, it's awesome. Myself, I liked a lot more action with the monsters, and I liked how we got to see them battle, and it was more driven by them and their movements around and everything. But I still did enjoy the human element story. It was a very simple story, honestly. Very small characters in a very short amount of time. Yeah. So it happened very, very quickly. Yeah. But at the same time, I cared about what was happening to them. I think they did a decent job myself of feeling like they, move forward, right?
Yeah, it's just a big, dumb action movie.
Yeah, it's just entertainment. I mean,
pure popcorn. Sit back with a good old bucket of popcorn, which we did, and just enjoy it. Like, it was just really great to see Godzilla battle, with all those
he looked
monsters,
really cool.
And the depth that you got in there.
Well, you got some more clear views of him, too. A little bit more of a character, not just a big...
Well, you get to see the eyes more.
Yeah, a big figure in the background destroying stuff. He actually was in the movie type thing, right? So...
Yeah. I think the reason why I'm not so boisterous about it is because a lot of the lightning effects and all that really bothered me more on I was starting to get a headache.
Well, yeah, it's going to have a strobe warning on it pretty soon.
Yeah. It definitely had that feeling where that and I was getting lost in kind of the muddiness of some of the scenes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Of the effects. But that being said, though, there were some amazing scenes of the battles, and I think that's really the big part of the movie.
I love the silhouettes of them, especially
in the
when
clouds.
There's the clouds and everything, and you have these giant. I mean, I love the epic scale of them. They showed how huge they were, their big wingspan. And,
yes.
And I thought there were some really pretty shots.
There was some that looked more like they were straight out of a painting.
Yeah. It was artistic.
Yeah.
Esque, right? So, and then one of the things that I it's kind of funny. I got weirdly emotional when it came to Mothra. It was so pretty, and it was magical with
calming.
The sounds that it made. Ooh. Yeah, it was. See, I'm getting all verklempt. But it was just so. It was magical. It made me feel like it was magical.
Well, it was different versus the other ones that were so...
They're harsh and angular.
Yeah,
and this
violent.
one was flowy, and it wasn't violent at all. And then when it showed up and they said that she was the queen of the monsters, and I was like, oh my god, she's here to be safe, and it's just so cute. And she cares, and I went full on girly, and I was so super emotionally attached to this giant moth. It was hilarious. I kept laughing at myself.
I think getting cats really just like broke down that wall for you.
And just emotions flooded through.
You know, whenever there's animals on screen now, you know, of any form, even a giant moth. You know, before Katie would have just been like, whatever, it's a moth. Let it die.
And now
it's just like
squishy inside when it comes to that. I know, right? And then it's just, I was so heartbroken. Spoilers. If you didn't already know, we do spoilers. Totally heartbroken when she got shot out of the air and disintegrated. But she sacrificed herself just to help Godzilla. And I was just like, oh, I was almost welling up idea. That to me was impressive. I know I'm become super soft on animals or anything like that. But at the same time, it was well done then.
Yeah. Oh, it was more interesting seeing the monsters fight, not fight, but interact.
Yeah.
Than say the human element, because the human element wasn't as predominant.
Mm-hmm. Well, you didn't really know what you were rooting for the people.
Yeah.
Other than the scientist, who I felt like he really cared and wanted a true connection and understand wanted to respect the power that the Titans had. And, you felt bad for him, but you also felt appreciative and in awe of him that he got to follow this through and give his life for something that he cared about so much. Yeah. Right? But other than that, I didn't really care too much about what happened to them. I was glad to see them survive and the dad come around and find some peace with things. But
I was honestly when they got the mom back and all that, and it was the whole but she set all this into motion. You can't just
forgive it.
Yeah, you can't forgive that, because she's breaking all the rules that she said she believed in.
Yeah, you make a really good point with that.
Right? Because she was saying that, they were there to right the wrongs and all that, but yet then she thought she was high and mighty enough to break them free from their pens, basically, and their full nature. She was not trusting that nature would release them when the time was right.
Well, yeah, you're right, because the whole point of them is that something disturbs them and wakes them up. Mm-hmm. And instead, yes, she realized that maybe humans were the ones doing it, which seems to be the case of what they were saying. All of our issues that breaking into the earth is causing it. Well, that's what happened with the first thing, and then Godzilla showed up and stopped that. But then apparently Earth will, or if that's her plan, is that they protect it. Mm-hmm. We still had some room to push. Yeah, and without interference of humans, right?
That 3-headed snake dude. I can't remember his name.
We've talked about this over and over again, and we cannot remember his name. Every time we talk, we're like, nope, he's a 3-headed snake dude. Yeah. So or dragon.
3-headed dragon. But he was encased in ice, right? So it would have been the end of days, technically.
Well, and it's interesting that you gotta wonder how, because they had talked about the fact that he was supposed to be forgotten. He was supposed to be banished, essentially. Yeah. How did that happen? How was he banished to literally the end of the world where they didn't expect interference into it? What did that?
I'm assuming though those paintings and stuff that they found of Godzilla battling him in the early days. Yeah. Right?
So the Atlanteans went and encased him in ice?
Maybe.
Yeah. Elsa showed up and froze his ass in some ice. Yes.
Wait, did you just find a hidden connection to Frozen 2?
That's what we do, right? We have to find connections to Frozen in the most extreme ways possible. Because Frozen is actually interlaced in everything. Didn't you know that, Mike?
I don't know how to respond to that. I can't tell if you're serious. You're kind of freaking me out.
Yes, I am being sarcastic.
Now I just want to see someone edit the Frozen Elsa, 2 trailer with something Godzilla, when she's going across and and then just up and freezes
3-headed dragon dude. Yep. That's what I think. That should be amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there you go, internet. Make it happen.
Oh, the only moment where I was just like, what the heck are they thinking? I actually was like, no, because the battle between Three-Headed Dragon Dude and Godzilla went on a long time in Boston. And when he finally, was flaming him up and was, burning him to pieces. And then I thought for a moment, because his head started rising up, that they actually had him regenerate from something. And I was so relieved when it was just Godzilla throwing his head around.
That was a little weird, though.
It was totally unnecessary of a scene. Because that was the only one where I was just like, what are they doing? So Ghidorah. That's what his name is.
I don't know why.
Why can we not remember? Did she just say gonorrhea? See, that's the only thing that stuck in my head.
Oh, okay. So it's King Gonorrhea.
Yes.
Huh.
Ghidorah.
Like, then when I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah.
It was just that. Yeah.
Maybe it's just like the fear.
Oh, you know what was one thing that was funny is during the movie, our son leans over and he's like, Mom, you shouldn't fight a lightning-powered monster with fire. Shouldn't you use
Pokemon?
And I was like, dude, this is not Pokemon. And he's like, I know, but still. His whole world is Pokemon.
That is fantastic.
And he's like, he thinks about elements on how they are opposite from each other and tries to battle. It was quite fun.
Well, the other day we were in the kitchen and all of a sudden he was like, what do you think would be a good one to battle a steel type Pokemon?
I don't know. And then I go into real world and I think of what was steel, sensitive to? I'm like, this does not make sense. I don't know how to rationalize this in the world of Pokemon.
Well, ice and water.
Water, right? See, I thought water. The bubbles did some damage to the Pokemon, but not a lot else. He electrocuted the crap out of it with Pikachu and it killed it.
Yeah.
So that I was not expecting.
But yeah.
Side note there.
We just did that so we could throw Pokemon on the tag. Sorry.
Nice.
Yep.
You caught me, Mike.
Dun dun dun.
So overall, though, the movie was fun.
Yeah, it was a big popcorn explosion.
And you know what? Our son seemed to understand it, which was good. We were worried he might be a little too bored. Yeah. But you know what? There was enough action in it that if the boring parts, he just kind of glossed over them and he was good to go.
Yeah, he was more concerned at the end when we started talking about the fact that there's going to be Godzilla versus Kong. And he was just sitting there going, well, why didn't Kong show up in this whole battle then?
Yeah.
Because he's on an island. Well, all the others made it.
He was very concerned about why Kong did not show up. So, which is good, I guess, his comprehension that he understood that they were all supposed to show up. So.
Yeah, so let us know what you think of Godzilla if you have the same thoughts. Are you excited that next year we get to see Godzilla versus Kong?
This is going to be an interesting concept because I really liked Kong and I like Godzilla. So it's like, who are you going to be?
Yeah, I think so far out of their whole monster verse that they've built, though, I still think I enjoy Skull Island more than Godzilla and now King of Monsters.
Yeah, I agree. I really do like Skull Island. I think that was really an awesome movie for sure.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see because it's 40-something years later.
Yeah.
So is Kong going to be bigger then?
That would be
because a teaser poster makes them look almost comparable, but that's just a teaser poster. So.
Yeah, true.
We're less than a year away from it.
Well, it's interesting because you think, okay, so all the help that Godzilla had to get, honestly, to be able to, I still can't remember his name. Oh my goodness, we just sat there and talked about it. That is fantastic. I was just going to say Three-Headed Dragon Dude. Ghidorah. All the effort and help that he had fighting Ghidorah. And he still took such a beating. He had to be literally resuscitated using a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
And this guy was really scary, powerful. How is Kong going to be enough to actually give Godzilla
a versus movie?
A versus. I
guess if you think about it, though, Ghidorah was more mystical because they're saying that he was an alien.
Yeah, true.
He wasn't from Earth. He's not an original Titan. So I'm assuming because he had other kinds of powers, he was able to siphon some of the radiation out of Godzilla.
Maybe
when
he was
doing
weakening him a little bit. Yeah.
I'm assuming because Kong doesn't shoot anything out of anything in his body.
Oh, he's going to now. He's going to shoot
He's
some
gonna
sort
fling
of
poo.
because you know what? All the other Titans. That's the other thing that's. He's gonna,
I love how you just kind of started glossing over that. You were just like, no, I'm not touching that. We're staying out of the gutter, Mike. I'm going to keep talking. Last week we were too far gone.
I know I'm controlling myself. I am showing some restraint. But then all the other Titans shot some sort of energy out of them. And Kong doesn't fit that mold at all. You know, that was one thing that was fantastic. Going back to Toy Traders this morning, we were looking at some toy and I said something about, oh, that is huge. Or he's huge. Oh, yes. I said he's huge. And one of the workers was like, that's what she said. It was fantastic.
Yep.
It set the morning off so well right there. Anyways, back to topic.
Shooting monsters,
The
shooting
energy
things.
shooting out of them.
Yeah.
You know, he's totally different with that, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming then we'll get a nice clean brawl, which will be kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
With Godzilla's little stubby T-Rex arm.
Maybe we could slash his tail around a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, something of that nature. Because I guess he would have had to, it sounds funny, but he would have had to use his, you know, blast and everything from someone like Ghidorah. Yay, I remember his name. That
Gold
shot,
Star.
I know, right? That shot laser beams of lightning everywhere,
Yeah.
right? So that, speaking of
Frickin' laser.
freaking laser beams from his eyes now. That would be...
I want the Austin Powers Monsterverse.
You can think of laser puppies from Star Wars: The Force of Evil. That's what I was just thinking. It could be laser Ghidorah. Laser dragons. Pew, pew.
It needs to make that sound too.
Yes. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew.
Sound effects.
I think we've gone a little, maybe we're on a little too much sugar right now. Oh, when he supercharged himself and shot the lightning out of like all his wing tips
All his
and everything.
orifices.
You know what's funny? I was just going to say orifices. I was like, that's not right. Thank you, Mike, for reading my mind and making sure that still made it into the podcast.
Booyah!
But yeah, that was really awesome though. The giant
it was
light
amazing
up the sky.
looking.
So some of those epic shots were really, really cool.
There's some fantastic cinematography when it was clean.
Yeah.
Like it was just like,
Oh, and we've decided that Mike has like faster shutter speed eyes than I do because that's why like the flashing lights didn't bother me at all. Because he can pick up on all of this muddiness and the CGI can't be clean, and I'm like, looks awesome to me. Like I am completely unaware of all this detail. I think his eyes work much faster than mine, which gives you a better eye for cinema in general than me, right? So
yeah, I'm fortunate when it comes to like the DLP projectors. I get their color ribbons once in a while.
oh, okay,
That's one of the things where I never
you can see past the magic.
I can see the colors, man. I can see all the colors of the rainbow, man.
Yep. Reminds me of maybe you're like Van Gogh. We just watched the Doctor Who episode there where he could see the world in swirling vortexes of color, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much how I see things.
Yeah. Tortured artist over here.
Oh, look, a squirrel.
We've gone all over the place right now. We are meandering down the path of Godzilla.
Go, 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 Godzilla.
See, and I thought that in the credits was funny. And I was like, tapping my feet. It was awesome. And you're like, that was cheesy. It was cheesy.
It was cheesy,
funny,
awesome.
cheesy. It was. You know what? Apparently there was some things that we didn't like, but I'm feeling super giddy talking about this.
Yeah,
so it obviously did a good job of entertaining us, even just being ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I'm not disappointed.
And you know what?
I saw it.
My brother-in-law, who is super picky about anything, anything. Him and my sister went and saw that today. They got D-Box motion seats for it, which would have been super crazy.
It would have been like one of those like exercise things that you sit on that jiggles the fat away.
Right? It's like it's always there, right? And they both loved the movie, which says something for an old fanboy who cares about all that sort of stuff and just wants to see the ridiculous, like, bring back blast from the past feel, right? Yeah. He really enjoyed it, so that gives it a whole other, because he's not even a huge movie guy.
Yeah, well, especially go to the movies.
Yeah, so I'm glad that it made him happy with everything.
You know what? I don't know why I like it so much, but I like that it is the scales on his back light up when he charges up. But then the noise.
Oh yeah, I loved the noise. It was so awesome. Like and the music and like the chanting almost that was used when some of the monsters were fighting. Yeah, you know what? I'm honestly really excited to watch it again.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun. Maybe with not the difference between the movie and TV at home.
Might be better.
Maybe it won't bother your eyes so much.
Yeah, it could be.
And it won't be so crazy loud. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I was having fun.
Yeah. NECA is bringing out their toys as well, which I thought was kind of cool. They're not as colorful as I expected. Or like... Is
there a Mothra?
Yeah, they're bringing out a Mothra later this year.
It won't be as magical, though, because it won't glow and make the sounds. Well, the sounds were magical. I need. It's like a whale sounds, right? So
it's like the Uba from like Star Wars. There, the Revenge of the Sith.
We actually use that noise to calm our son down when he was a baby.
When he was a baby.
Yeah,
he was.
And we still did it when he was older. It would make him be like, "What the?"
Yeah, usually stopped him dead in his tracks. He was like, "What are you guys doing?" Weird. Great. Okay, we're good now, right? All right.
So I need to make like some sort of white noise sleep sounds of Godzilla sounds of Mothra. Yes, someone make an app for that.
That's fantastic.
Open sleep sounds, play Mothra. Yes.
But SH Figure Arts is also bringing out monsters and I think Mothra might be on that list as well. So it'd be interesting to see if they're a little more intense.
Only if it glows in like iridescent colors. Like, yeah.
You just need that opening where it shows up where the wings are all glowing.
Just in the waterfall.
Yeah, that orby kind of.
But no, when it was only the ocean, it was like, I'm trying to wake you up because you're broken, and I'm trying to help you. Like, it was just so sad. Loving little insect, man.
Except for when it had a stinger that went.
That was awesome. In. It was like, don't touch him. See. Wow, I got cats and I got weirdly attached to animals now.
There you go.
It's impressive. I mean, that was a hard shell that Mike worked very hard to break, and he just...
Candy-coated shell.
2 cats, just done.
Yep. That's all it took. So not only did we see Godzilla this weekend, we also went and saw...
Rocketman.
That's right.
I was really, really excited for this film. I debated whether or not really we're going to see it, and I was like, you know what? No, it really is important for me. I really want to see it, and I'm super happy that we did.
Yes, it is a fan-friggin-tastic movie.
Yeah, I'm still like overjoyed and happy with it.
It's a pop rock fantasy drizzled in
Well, it was a full-on
glitter,
musical, right?
And yeah.
It wasn't just watching a movie with a soundtrack.
Yes.
The music was the heart and soul and moved the story along. And I thought it was beautifully woven into the story.
Yeah, it was fantastically done with each scene. Like, it was just
they were blended
amazing.
Together. Really, the transitions between the scenes were amazing.
Going from young to old,
and it happened so seamlessly.
Yeah, and it was just it felt like watching a big play.
Yes.
Right, like a Broadway musical feel.
Yes.
Where everything was just blended and different actors sung parts of songs. To really reflect in those emotions, and it was just
you got a lot more even respect for those lyrics because you could see the context of the life and the people who wrote them and what was going on and how they might mean something to someone differently than you've ever even thought of. Some of those songs you think of in a certain way, and within this movie you could it could mean something like this,
right?
It was so beautiful. It
really gave off that cross universe vibe.
Very much so. I was just going to say that Cross the Universe is one of my absolute favorite movies, and that I was hoping it was going to be like that,
right?
And it
there was quite a few of those really trippy scenes, like especially when he was in the water there in the swimming pool and saw his younger self in the little like Rocketman outfit playing the tiny piano.
Yes. Something that wasn't all just black and white realistic feel. Yeah. It was flamboyant and fabulous.
Just like his life was supposed to be, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And everything that he would have touched would have been that way. And this was all still his story too. The way it starts out, he's telling his story at rehab. Yeah. So this is still the way he would have remembered events And, Elton was the executive producer on this movie. So it is still him telling his story.
Well, yeah, I remember seeing a thing that said that he wanted to push it a little bit more and wasn't scared of coming out looking a bit like a bad guy.
Well, yeah, he went through some shitty times.
So it's interesting that having him alive to be able to help produce it and all that. Because really, we get biopics. You can get it where, you see the darkness from the characters and all that. And some of them never get redemption.
Yeah.
Right. But he was able to show the darkness that came from the drug addiction and all those things. And even a little bit of the shopping and all that.
Or even they don't even paint them dark enough, possibly, when they kind of deserve it to even see that chance of redemption.
Yeah.
Right?
And so it's kind of good to see that he was okay letting people see the darkness that he had. Yeah. And how depressed and...
Well, you know what? I think, he's 28 years sober now?
Mm-hmm.
And
1991.
I know, that just blew our mind. I'm losing track of time. It just seems strange. I was telling Mike that, obviously I base it on my age, which makes sense then. But at the same time, I feel like the thousands just didn't exist. It went from the 90s to 2010, to the decade we're in now. And I forget about that whole 10 years. It doesn't compute in my head. It's the weirdest thing. It doesn't make any sense.
That's
how
fantastic.
long is it going to be before we forget about the 80s and 90s as being relatively current?
Well, it's the 80s are getting there because there's stuff that's being played on classic rock stations that are from the 80s, even the early 90s.
The 90s stuff.
Nirvana is actually on a classic rock station now.
Yeah, and it has been for a number of years, actually.
The stuff that's been on that was to us it's considered classic rock, the 60s, 70s, is now on oldie stations.
Yeah, you're right.
So
it feels really ancient. Well, okay, our son, we were talking about this because we were telling him, okay, this is, it was really good, but you'll be able to see it when you're a teenager. It was too much right now and everything. And we were telling him about all this, and we were telling him about his tour, that he's coming around, he's doing a final tour, and he was just flabbergasted. He's like, you mean he's still alive?
How is that possible?
And he was just floored with that. And I was like, I know, it's weird because we talk about so many classic rock artists and they're all dead.
Yeah.
And for him, he was just mind blown that Elton was still alive.
Yeah.
And then also it was why are we not going to his concert?
Yeah, we looked it up. We totally missed any of the actual original sales. So they're all after sale prices, but it's all 400 plus for... We're talking nosebleed.
It'd be nosebleed for at least $900 to $1,000
for the three of us to go.
It would be ridiculous.
So, not happening. But what I was going to say was that I had seen originally that it was talk about a sex scene and they mentioned the blowjob scene and all that. So it kind of was we really shouldn't take him yet because we're not ready to explain some of that sexual vibe.
Yeah.
Yet, be it. No matter what orientation,
yeah, it's just sex in general.
He's too young for that. It actually wasn't that bad. It was tastefully done.
Yeah,
there was nothing gratuitous about it. So really, it really came down to, I think, honestly, that stuff could easily glaze over. It's the swearing and the comprehension at that age.
The comprehension, exactly. That's going to be a lot of it. Is the story behind it is way too dramatic for someone who is a younger age, for sure. And, it was definitely anti-drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Very much so, because it was never painted out to be a good thing.
No.
Not once, which was actually really refreshing to see.
There was no glamour to it at all.
Yeah, no, because he was never in a good place with that. And it never showed him... It showed his success before he got into drugs too, to prove that he had that talent, that he wasn't just talent because of the drugs. And I thought that was interesting where they did talk about, being afraid to not be as good when you weren't on the drugs. And it was no, you're afraid to feel again. He's not afraid of not being creative. He's afraid of the emotions that he never dealt with as a child. Yeah. And it was very deep. It was very emotional. It was very well done. Yeah, I'm super impressed.
I wasn't a big fan of Bohemian Rhapsody. It didn't hit the right beats for me. It felt way too standard for what Queen's life should have been. If they had done a Queen movie like this, I think it would have been much more fantastic. Yeah. Really to kind of
well, the songs weren't woven into the storytelling.
Yeah, it was just
them singing it in the studio or on concert, and that was it.
And then so that's what I loved about this. This just had a completely different vibe to it. And honestly, if this does not hit award season big, then the system's
something's
rigged.
Wrong. Exactly, because it deserves praise while the wazoo.
Yeah, it was fantastic. You know what? That'd be one thing that I haven't seen in any interviews, but I would love to ask that Taron dude. Well, Egerton?
Yes.
What is it like having to sing, or not having to, but have sung the same song in 2 completely different movies.
Such extreme versions.
You know, he
yeah.
played the gorilla in Sing that sings "I'm Still Standing."
Yep.
Right.
And now we got to sing the same song,
playing Elton John.
Yeah.
You know, so that would be a question because I haven't seen that in any interviews.
I am very impressed with Terrence's performance. I mean, if his singing ability was, of course, not questioned. I mean, he was a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
And he did such an amazing job playing him, making him his own. But there was a few times where I was like, oh my gosh, that was Elton right there.
Well, yeah, it looked like him. Like
they did a great job with the casting, with the makeup, with the costumes. Like absolutely fantastic sets. And there's a lot of emotion that was played. And the switches between totally down in the gutter to all of a sudden I'm on stage and I'm bright and shiny and happy. And
it's kind of creepy. Huh?
It was creepy and it was so well done.
Like the fact that he just had that, like he was just like smacking himself in the face to get that smile. That teethy grin.
And you feel like heartbroken for someone who is living in so much pain for what now, you don't realize the time lapse throughout the movie. But then when you hear back, okay, that you make the connection between when he was entered rehab and how long he was clean, and you realize how long his career actually was.
Oh, yeah.
And how long he was in that hole and how sad he was. And it's just
he even had then music after that too, right? Especially because like you don't learn about the Lion King days and anything like that. So
yeah, it was a lot less crazy but of course he was also getting older, but at the same time life changed. And, but yeah, I was looking up on Spotify and I was overwhelmed with how many albums he has. He has over 30 albums.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
And it's super impressive that he still can bring out music. He's changed with the times then. He's been able to make new things and new sounds.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have nothing but good to say about this
it's
movie.
definitely something that should be seen just for the grandeur of it.
Yeah.
Like it's a spectacle.
It is.
But it's a good kind of spectacle.
Yeah. It's an emotional ride. And, and it's beautiful costumes. And there was a few times where I was like, I'm looking at this and like, this is a crazy outfit. I can't believe this was actually real.
Right.
And it's just fabulous.
Yep. Well, I like for me, the Saturday Night's All Right for a Fight. That was a great scene.
That was a beautiful way to start.
Like it just, the fact that he goes from jumping through the bar and all that. And when he comes to the fence and then he's older. Yeah. Right. And then he has a whole scene.
Did you notice a lot of the costumes, the different groups of people, they were in different like cliques almost. And I thought that was really cool to show all the different types of people in that era. Yeah. You had the people that looked more like the Beatles start up with that, and you had the more poodle skirts and that type of thing. You had more of the punk feel, and it was a nice mix of people. I thought that was really cool. It was really well done.
That was the thing that I just thought was really interesting is to watch it because I say it played out just like a musical plays out, and I love the theatrical music.
Well, as soon as that started, I was like, "Oh, Mike's gonna watch this movie. We're good. We are good."
Because that's I think a lost art almost because there's musicals and there's a lot of new Broadway stuff, but they do base it a lot on properties, like because you got a SpongeBob and a Shrek and all that, but it just doesn't have the same flair. Like this, this could easily just didn't necessarily have to be Elton John's story per se. It could have just been a musical about an artist.
Yeah, definitely.
With the music from Elton John. Yeah. Right? It's a pure fantasy feel, but it's a real fantasy. So it just blew my mind. Like it just how well put together the other songs. And anytime you blend the songs with the dancing and it's so seamless, like nothing's happening, that gets my attention.
Exactly. And that's why I loved Across the Universe was for that too, where they just started singing and it was just an expression of what was going on. Yeah. That reminder that music is just a form of communication and expression. Again, it just banged home how emotional all that music was. Yeah. How much real life there really was, how personal it was. So it was really enjoyable learning about different things as well with him and the different people that he interacted with. And
it's sad to see that basically the common denominator in every bio music pick is basically the manager is out there to mess you over. Yeah. They're never
the good guy. As soon as I saw him, he's like, nope, slime ball. He's gonna ruin his life. I know it for sure.
It's like that was Queen. That was like it's everything. All these movies. It comes.
The only one who didn't do that, the actual manager, was the Beatles. Yeah. Epstein did not ruin the Beatles. He kept them alive. He was the only one that believed him, but that was way back when, right? Yeah. But they didn't last long enough for him to ruin them. Right.
That's true.
We forget how little the Beatles themselves were kind of really together, right? And that was definitely the downfall for that. They take advantage of it, right?
It's that power and money. They see a way to be able to get money. And it's like it's as an artist, then it's interesting like watching all these because these are all true life. Like, do you as a singer, songwriter, performer now see all these movies and like on edge,
freak out, right?
That your manager is just a dick,
right? Well, because he had actually said, what are you going to do when the money runs out? Because I'm the one that makes the money. And he was like, well, no, I have contracts, so I'm fine. I'm totally
I have the royalties.
He has no reason to worry. Yeah, he's going to be losing money in the long run, let's say, if he goes down the toilet. But he's still going to be making some money, so
every
he doesn't
time
have
that
to care.
song's played, he gets 20% of it, right?
Right? And it's that sad lack of caring for a human being that you are dragging through the mud.
Money.
Yes.
Glorious money.
Mr. Krabs over here. You don't care about the people that you got to step on, and it's, it's sad.
But yeah, definitely something to check out if you're into the music, movies, and all that, or in musicals.
Yeah, in general.
It was fantastic. With that, though, is there any songs of his that stand out to you that you enjoy?
For me?
Not just in the movie, but just in general?
You know what? I honestly, I don't know the proper title for it, and I should have looked that up. But it's guess why they call it the blues.
I guess why they call it the blues.
I love that song. I always have. I thought that was such an interesting take on that. I love your song and Tiny Dancer. A lot of that was personal humor from my past.
I think it's everyone's personal humor.
And I realize now it's Friends' fault. Thank you, Friends.
They lit that seed.
Tony Danza.
At least I could watch the movie and I wasn't like hearing.
I can
closer, Tony Danza.
Yeah, and now I just feel crazy for thinking that ever, right?
Well, remember that song for the longest time? I was like, why do they keep saying Pepper Ann? And it's not Pepper Ann. It was never had to knock on wood.
Yeah, and I'm like, how in the world did you possibly
Ann.
think it said Pepper Ann? It's so funny when we have it in our head that says something. It is so hard to switch it off until we are clearly shown otherwise, and you're like, that was ridiculous. Right? How did I ever think it said that same other word?
Exactly.
I love that. Yellow Brick Road probably, but those are the ones that kind of stand out for sure. What about you?
I'm more of the standards, the Rocketman and
all of his hits,
Benny and the Jets.
Benny and the Jets is good. Well, and I really liked I'm Still Standing only because we listened to it so many times.
Yeah, I love that song. I think it's a great song.
But it's so upbeat and peppy. Like his music is so energizing.
Yeah.
And it fit with what he was on stage, right? Okay, I think we've gushed enough about Rocketman. I think it's pretty clear that we enjoyed the movie.
Well, we'll probably gush about it again when it hits award season and it wins awards.
And then when I'm going to watch it again on Blu-ray, and I'm so excited. See, it makes... Well, and then we came home and just started playing all the music again. I'm probably going to listen to work tomorrow, too. Because they're just... All of his hits, it's amazing how many hits he has. It's like 41 something number one hits or something like that. Like, it's an amazing, and the songwriter Bernie there, unbelievable amount of talent as a songwriter for sure.
Well, it's fantastic to see that he just wrote the lyrics and then Elton John just...
It's a beautiful team. Just a match made the actual music,
right? Like just by that, like it was wild to see that.
Yeah, well, it shows then how much that really does help when you have a bit of a team of making stuff and someone they obviously gelled so well together. That was a fateful meeting for sure. So on that note, then wrapping up that, is there any other news or anything else you want to share with the world?
This is like brand new news that just dropped, so it won't be news by the time you hear this, guys. But
Mike's excited.
I'm excited. So I'm on Instagram and SH Figure Hearts, they dropped a new announcement. They're going to be bringing out a new Bulma figure for Dragon Ball. And as if you've been listening, I've been watching Dragon Ball, both Dragon Ball and Z. I'm watching them at the same time.
Super obsessed with the whole world right now.
It's freaking amazing. With watching Dragon Ball with Kiddo, I've been loving the figures too, because the figure arts figures are just fantastic for the styling and the sculpting and the coloring and the posability of them, right?
Yeah.
And all the extra accessories you get with them, you get what you pay for with those figures. Unlike some of the other ones, you just get a standard figure, but you get so many extra heads and hands and pieces and accessories, and it just makes it worth it because your value is right there. And I did buy that Bulma figure, the original release, and I was super excited because it came with the tracker. And it comes with the Dragon Ball, right?
Well, our son's really excited about the tracker.
Right, he loves the tracker. Well, because we got Kid Goku beside Bulma, and she's got the tracker and all that, and so he's super excited. So I've been looking up about all the ones that come with Dragon Balls, because like I want to be able to get these Dragon Balls, because I got 2 of them that had the Dragon Balls. You know, Master Roshi comes with a Dragon Ball, Kid Krillin comes with a Dragon Ball, and then they've announced King Piccolo, he comes with a Dragon Ball. So then like I'm down to the point where like there's 2 that don't have Dragon Ball. So I've been like looking up like, oh, what's going on? Where's the other ones? Did they already come out? And I had a friend that's like, no, they haven't brought up the other ones yet. Like,
which is nice for sure.
You know, still coming. So I'm like, oh, I'm not too far behind. There's only a few that I need to get, and I can get these Dragon Balls, right? I'm like Pokemoning it here. I gotta catch them all. It's like the hunt. I just hope if I get all the balls together, Shenron shows up, right?
On a side note, remind me, I have a Pokemon thing to say.
Okay. So they announced today that there's going to be a brand new Bulma coming out, and she's in her pink dress, how she appeared in the first few episodes of the original Dragon Ball.
Oh, okay.
And it shows her holding the 2 Dragon Ball. So there's the next one. So it does kind of suck that it's another Bulma, but at the same time, it's going to be vastly different from the one I have, because the one that I have,
well, it's totally different looking.
You know, she looks more like a warrior. She's got Band-Aid on her cheek, and she comes with a machine gun, and yeah, she's more badass. And this one here is just the cute Bulma, you know, the teen kind of Bulma, and I say she comes with the 2, looking like it's going to come with the 2 Dragon Balls, so that's exciting. So it's just one more to find out where that known is, and you know,
nice.
So, but I'm a sucker for those figures, because they move so awesome and they're so fluid. So.
Like he's living and breathing it for sure, which is it's adorable. You know, you have you live and breathe for new fandoms.
Well, honestly. It's amazing to find things and all that. Like I'm reading My Hero Academia. Oh, okay. Because honestly, the last batch of Marvel and DC books that I got from the library were junk.
Oh.
They're just
time wasters then?
Yeah, they're uneventful. They were not interesting.
It's almost to that point where they don't care so much about a good story. People will just read them, and they just like, well, it's just they're Batman, Superman, and they're the standard heroes. Well, so we just gotta keep going.
Well, what's been sad about that is that it seems like they're almost trying to be too different sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Which then allows them to not be as interesting, because they're no longer really the characters that you know and love. And everyone just tries to tell a grand story. There's no just one-offs or small stories.
Well, I know you're always more of the fan of like, let's just take this day. Yeah. And then, you know, think about it like that way. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a 2-year arc. Yeah. You know, why can't we just tell a fun story? You know,
so many of the Batman stories that I've enjoyed have been the ones that have only been like 1 or 2 issues throughout his run. Like some of the old Brubaker and ones and things like that. Yeah. Just so much better just because they're quick. You know, maybe in the long run, you're like, oh, that added up to where that was. Yeah. But it's not so much of the like, oh, I read 6 issues and okay, what?
Nothing happened, right? Well, like I have a few, like say my Wonder Woman or my Flash, where of course I love the big arcs, and I can tell that I never collected them in comics, so they would have been a really big arc because they're like maybe 4 or 5 graphic novels. But then there's a graphic novel that I have of Wonder Woman that's a complete just contained story all by itself, and I feel like there's plenty that happened with it. Yeah. And even like the Greg Rucka one, the Wonder Woman ones, there was so much that happened in each graphic novel itself. You know, there was a complete story feeling between them, and why do they have to be just long, drawn out? Yeah, always leading to the next thing. Yeah, they're almost like TV shows that are just taking up too much time, just wasting space. And you know, like there's some really great art in there, and there's some stuff that's really great in there. Like I tried the latest Amazing Spider-Man, and you know, I get it that we're supposed to hate Peter in some form, like not hate him, but like his life's supposed to suck, but just then it was like everything just went wrong with his life in the latest like reboot of Amazing Spider-Man that I started reading. It's just depressing to read. It's just like, oh yeah, great, you know, he's you know, what else could go wrong? Yeah. So it's reflecting, I think, a lot of our world that we live in. We want someone to feel as crappy as we do. Probably, but it's just, I read the heroes to feel hope and uplifting, and I'm not getting that from the books anymore. Yeah. They're just so drawn out and just depressing to read. And it's so, I don't know if My Hero Academia will be any different, but it's refreshing to read something different. I think even with your Dragon Ball, you see this like hope about improving yourself and getting better. And the hard work putting into to see achievement and an improvement of your body and your mind and the freeness of emotional stability and happiness and an uplifting thought, right?
Yeah.
You know, everything that Goku seems to be, you just seem pure of heart feel, right? And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that for sure. So
exactly.
But yeah, on a side note, our son there tonight told me, he's like, you know what? 'Cause he was playing his Let's Go Pikachu this afternoon. He's like, I really want a Pokemon trainer outfit. He wants to get like a little tracksuit type thing that he can be a Pokemon trainer. And I thought it was just so funny. Like, he just wants that on a normal everyday basis. He wants to look like a Pokemon trainer. And he's loving this fandom so much, and it's adorable.
That's hilarious. Okay, so I gotta figure out how to make that for him.
So yeah, there you go, Sarah. You have your new project. We want a Pokemon trainer outfit.
6 days a week of Pokemon outfits.
Yep. So
that's fantastic. So there it is. Another one.
Another episode.
There we are. We're in there. We're in your ear holes. Make you feel good.
So just a reminder, send us that magic word by direct message and get your entry into the contest.
Well, hopefully y'all have a good one. Next few weeks, I really don't know what we have planned for our episodes.
No, movies are kind of dropping off. And
we're kind of looking at maybe some different things. We might do another like Radnesia feel.
You know, give us any topics that you shoot us a message of something you want to hear about.
Because we were looking at some of the movies that are coming out, and we're just like, do we really want to look at those with the money that they are? Yeah. I don't know, because I'm going to see Toy Story 4.
Well, I kind of, some of it too, I even want to just spend some time. I mean, it's getting weather now. We can go to the beach, those types of things. And that time is precious as well.
So you know what that means. That spells an inside episode.
Okay, there we go.
Something like that. There's got to be. I don't know.
Sharing deep parts of our soul.
Yeah.
Bearing it all.
Filet of soul.
We'll find something fun to talk about. I know there's movies I've been wanting to watch that we have the opportunity.
Yeah, I say maybe we'll break out another Radnesia, because apparently a lot of people really liked Radnesia Spring Break.
Yeah. So I think we definitely
Radnesia Summer Break Start Part 1.
Indeed.
Dun dun dun.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us.
Yeah, hopefully you stay rad, be rad, and be kind.
Have a magical day. Thank you for listening. Want more rad content? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review.
And remember, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes!